వెల్కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు అవర్ ఛానల్ జేకే స్టడీస్. చాలా రోజుల తర్వాత గ్యాప్ తీసుకున్నా. ఐఎమ్ వెరీ వెరీ సారీ. సో ఇప్పుడు ఆఫ్టర్ మెనీ మంత్స్ ఐఎమ్ మళ్ళీ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నా. మనం 6th చాప్టర్లోకి ఎంటర్ అయిపోతాం. సో లెట్స్ గెట్ స్టార్టెడ్. మీ దగ్గర టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ లేకపోతే కింద ఉన్న డిస్క్రిప్షన్ బాక్స్లో లింక్ ఉంది, క్లిక్ చేయండి. మన 6th చాప్టర్ ఆఫ్రికా. Africa, a vast plateau. Look at the physical map of Africa. Do you see any large plains in the interior of the continent? మీకు ఎక్కడైనా లార్జ్ ప్లేన్స్ ఉన్నాయా అని అడుగుతున్నాడు. ఓన్లీ ఆన్ ద కోస్ట్ డు వి ఫైండ్ ఏ నారో ప్లేన్. అక్కడ ఉన్న కోస్ట్ దగ్గరే మనం ఒక నారో ప్లేన్ని కనబడతాం అన్నమాట. ద నెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది కాంటినెంట్ ఈజ్ ఎ వాస్ట్ ప్లాట్యూ ఆఫ్ varying height. Look for the valleys of the Nile and the Congo. There are several mountains on this plateau. The highest peak in Africa is Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. There are long and narrow valleys in the high plateau. There are several large lakes in these valleys. There is a region in the north where no rivers to be seen. అక్కడ నార్త్ రీజియన్లో రివర్స్ అనేది అక్కడ ఉంటుందంట. దిస్ ఈజ్ ద సహారా డిసర్ట్ విచ్ రిసీవ్స్ వెరీ స్కాంటీ రెయిన్ఫాల్. సహారా డిసర్ట్స్లో వెరీ స్కాంటీ రెయిన్ఫాల్ వస్తుంది. దెర్ ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ వన్ రివర్ విచ్ క్రాసెస్ ద సహారా డిసర్ట్. సహారా డిసర్ట్ని క్రాస్ చేసి ఒకే ఒక్క రివర్ ఉందంట. లుక్ ఫర్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద లార్జ్ లేక్స్ ఆన్ ద ప్లాట్యూ. లేక్ విక్టోరియా ఈజ్ ద లార్జెస్ట్ లేక్ ఇన్ ద ఆఫ్రికా. ఆఫ్రికాలో లేక్ విక్టోరియా అనే రివర్ చాలా లార్జెస్ట్ లేక్ అంట. దిస్ ఈస్ ద వన్ ఆఫ్ ద లార్జెస్ట్ ఫ్రెష్ వాటర్ లేక్స్ ఇన్ ద వరల్డ్. ద నైల్ ఒరిజినేట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ లేక్. ద రీజియన్స్ వేర్ దిస్ రివర్ హ్యాస్ ఇట్స్ సోర్స్ రిసీవ్స్ సచ్ హెవీ rainfall that there is enough water to flow across the desert into the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile also flows through Egypt. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఈజిప్ట్ ఈజ్ ఎ డిజర్ట్. ఈజిప్ట్ అంటే ఈజిప్ట్లో మొత్తం అంతా ఒక డిజర్ట్ లానే ఉంటుంది. ద నైల్ హ్యాస్ హెల్ప్డ్ ఏ సివిలైజేషన్ టు డెవలప్ ఇన్ ద డిజర్ట్. ఈజిప్టియన్ సివిలైజేషన్ ఈజ్ ఏ సెవరల్ థౌజండ్ ఇయర్స్ ఓల్డ్. ద వాటర్స్ ఆఫ్ ద నైల్ హ్యావ్ హెల్ప్డ్ టు ఇరిగేట్ ద ఫీల్డ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఈజిప్ట్ ఫర్ థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇయర్స్. Climate. If you look at Africa on the globe, you will find that the equator passes through its middle. Thus, Africa is divided into northern and southern parts. The zone between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn is the hottest region of the world. Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn ki unna zone between is the hottest region in the world. There is hardly any winter here. This is also known as the tropic region. ఇది ఒక ట్రాపిక్ రీజన్ అని కూడా అంటారు. These zones south and north of the tropics experience summer as well as winter. They are called temperature regions. So far we have been talking only about summer and winter. However, regions that are hot but receive heavy rainfall have a different climate from hot regions that get scanty rainfall. Regions with heavy rainfall. A large part of Africa on both sides of the equator. ఆఫ్రికాకి ఒక లార్జ్ పార్ట్ ఈక్వేటర్కి బోత్ సైడ్స్ రిసీవ్స్ రెయిన్ఫాల్. ఆ ఈక్వేటర్కి ఉన్న బోత్ సైడ్స్ రెయిన్ఫాల్ని రిసీవ్ అవుతుంది. Look at the regions with heavy rainfall on map 3. There are in central and western Africa. They have dense forests due to heavy rainfall and warm climate. Regions with moderate and scanty rainfall. It surrounds the zone of heavy rainfall in the region of moderate rainfall. It rains only in the summer whereas it rains throughout the year in the equatorial regions. As in our country, dry and wet seasons are distinct in the zones of moderate rainfall in Africa. Due to moderate rainfall, tall grasses grow in this region. In some places, these grasses are so tall that in some places. Some trees also grow between the grasses. This region is known as savanna. Look at the region in map. Different kinds of wild animals inhabit this region. You will read about them later. A large part of Africa is extremely arid అంటే డ్రైగా ఉంటుంది, where the rainfall is scanty or there is no rainfall for several years. Almost half of the northern part of the Africa is an arid dry region and is called the Sahara Desert. Thorny bushes and short grasses grown in some parts of the desert. In other parts, hills and rocks, stones and pebbles. In the south, there is another arid region called the Kalahari Desert. Pictures of different areas of Africa have been shown in the beginning of the chapter. Somewhere there is dense forest. In other area, trees and grass grow together. Elsewhere there is grass and shrubs. In still other areas there is no vegetation at all. ఇప్పుడు the people of Africa. People with different languages, lifestyle and habits live in different regions of Africa. ఆఫ్రికాలో డిఫరెంట్ రీజన్స్ ఉంటాయని చెప్పాను కదా, అక్కడ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు డిఫరెంట్ లైఫ్ స్టైల్స్, హ్యాబిట్స్ అండ్ లాంగ్వేజెస్తో ఉంటారు. సిన్స్ ఏషియన్ టైమ్స్ పీపుల్ హ్యావ్ లివ్డ్ ఇన్ స్మాల్ ట్రైబ్స్. ఇప్పుడు ఏషియన్ టైమ్స్ అప్పుడు వాళ్ళందరూ స్మాల్ ట్రైబ్స్లో లివ్ చేసేవారు. క్యారీయింగ్ అవుట్ హంటింగ్, గ్యాదరింగ్, యానిమల్ హస్బెండరీ అండ్ అగ్రికల్చర్. Hunters have inhabited the equatorial regions and the deserts. Pastoralists inhabited the high plateaus and savanna, grazing their animals on the extensive grasslands. Agriculture has long been carried out on river banks as well as the margins of forests. There are several cities on the coast where trades from distant countries come to trade. Asia, Europe and Africa. For a long time, people from other continents were largely ignorant about Africa. Europeans were familiar only with the northern coastal regions of Africa, while the Indian and Arab traders knew about the eastern coast. ఎప్పటి నుంచో people from other continents were largely ignorant about Africa. అందరూ ఆఫ్రికాకి వేరే రీజన్స్ వాళ్ళందరూ ఆఫ్రికాని ఇగ్నోర్ చేసేవారు. యూరోపియన్స్ వేర్ ఫ్యామిలియర్ ఓన్లీ విత్ ద నార్దర్న్ కోస్టల్ రీజన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్రికా. యూరోపియన్స్ అండ్ ఆఫ్రికాకి ఉన్న నార్దర్న్ కోస్టల్ రీజన్స్కి ఎక్కువ ఫ్యామిలియర్గా ఉండేవాళ్ళు. వైల్ ద ఇండియన్ అండ్ అరబ్ ట్రేడర్స్ న్యూ అబౌట్ ద ఈస్టర్న్ కోస్ట్స్. Apart from these coastal areas, neither the Europeans nor the Indian or Arab traders had much knowledge about the interior parts of Africa. About 500 years ago, Europeans began their attempts to reach India by the sea route by going around Africa. Traversing the Atlantic Ocean, they would stop over on the islands of Saint Madeira and Azores. They were apprehensive about going south of these islands. They thought it would be so hot further south that the sea would be boiling. There in 1498, a Portuguese sailor named Vasco da Gama went around the southern tip of Africa and reached India. The Africa coast. While studying Europe, you must have noticed its broken coastline. You must have read about the Gulls and bays of Europe. Try to recall how this helped the Europeans in the travel. Initially, when Europeans tried to go inland, many African tribes came in the direct conflict with them. Europeans indulged in unfair trade, tried to enslave the African people and sold them abroad. They wanted to establish their rule over Africa and export the resources. Hence, the African people resisted the efforts of foreigners to establish themselves in their land. Slave trade. In the 16th century, many Europeans began migrating to America and started cultivation there. There was plenty of land in America, but not enough people to work on the fields to fill the gap. The slave trade from Africa began. Africans were captured and enslaved mainly from the coastal areas from the Guinea as well as Eastern Africa. The captured people were brought to the coast and sold to the Europeans in exchange of the slaves. The African tribal leaders accepted guns from objects, liquor, and clothes. The slaves were greatly oppressed. Many of them died by the time they reached the ports. The ships were stuffed with slaves. There were no proper arrangements for food or medicine. In those days, it took several days to reach America. Many slaves did not survive the journey due to illness and malnutrition. Even in America, inhuman treatment was meted out to them. Despite working hard, they were not given proper food or living quarters. In this manner, millions of Africans were enslaved and taken to North and South America and nearby islands. Lakhs of people died after they made slaves in the 16th and 17th century. Numerous companies were engaged in the slave trade. Eventually, the slave trade ended in the 19th century. The slaves were declared free citizens in America 1860. European colonies. Earlier, you have read the Europeans had reached India by going around Africa subsequently. These Europeans started halting at Africa airports. Slowly, the Portuguese, Dutch, English, French, and Germans gained a foothold in the interior and colonized these areas. The political map of Africa at close of the 19th century. The regions colonized by the European colonies have been indicated to this map. Along with attempting to build their colonies in Africa, the Europeans continued to explore the interior of the continent. They traveled to the source of the Nile in the north. In the west, they explored the entire valley of the Niger, and in the south, they moved northwards from Cape Town. There where they explored the region around the river Zambezi, the Europeans explored African timber, minerals, etc. On a very large scale to Europe, in fact, the gold and diamond mines in southern Africa are still under the control of European companies. Zambia and Zimbabwe have priceless mines of copper. This mineral has long been important export item. The Europeans did not stop with exporting the resources of Africa. They established plantations to grow tea, coffee, rubber, tobacco, etc. These products were also exported to Europe. Crops and plantations of Nigeria. You may be fond of eating chocolates. They were made of coca, which grows in Nigeria. In southern Nigeria, apart from coca, there are also rubber plantations. Oil and bearing palm trees are also found there. Oil is extracted from its fruit. People reaching this forest crossing the Niger by boat to collect palm fruit. Earlier, all these trees were found in wild forests. When the demand from them increased, patches of forest were cleared and these trees were planted there. Coca, rubber, palm and palm oil are being exported, and this enables Nigeria to earn foreign exchange. Plantations were started by British who were not satisfied with the quantity or wild products collected from the forests. They wanted to produce more and export them. Plantations made many things easy for them. First of all, it was no longer difficult to go into the forest and locate the trees. It was easy to look after the trees since they were all in one place. Harvesting the produce became much easier before the production increased. Nigerian people started working in these plantations while the British were the managers. In this way, commercial agriculture of palm, coca and rubber began in Nigeria. Not only this, a number of processing units were also set up near plantations, such as units to separate seed from coca fruit, to dry it, extract oil from the palm fruit, extract milk from rubber plants, and so on. Most of the profit trade from palm, coca and rubber went to the British. The Nigerian people worked there only as agricultural laborers even in India during the British times. Plantations of tea and coffee were started for trade purpose. Nigeria was under the British rule until 1960 when it won independence. After that, the plantations and trade in plantation products have gradually come under the control of the Nigerians, and they are able to benefit from these. Independent Africa. During the last century, African countries gained independence from the control of European powers. New nations came up with their own governments. Of course, many Europeans are still settled in Africa countries. But slowly the African people are acquiring control over their land, forests and mines and agriculture production and benefiting from them. Minerals of Africa. The continent is very rich in minerals like coal, copper, tin, etc. Besides, it is perhaps the large producer in the world of precious minerals like gold and diamonds. One of the main aims of Europeans in Africa was to exploit these resources by using servile labor of the Africans. Many of these countries and their companies control most of mineral resources of even independent Africa countries till date. For example, mineral oil or petroleum is the most important natural resource of Nigeria. The Dutch companies established control over the oil mining and refining in Nigeria. Since 1958, mineral oil has been exported from Nigeria. Oil refineries have been set up at Harcourt and Warriport. The industry is mostly in the hands of the foreign companies to this day. The Nigerian government has only a small share in the industry. This is the same with many other minerals mined from Africa. The foreign companies do bring in the new technologies and investments to the mining and processing industries, thus creating employment for the local people. However, they use cheap labor to make huge profits, which are taken away from the African people. People of these companies are also careless about environmental protection and have caused immense damage to the natural environment. This has affected the quantity of land and life of the people adversely. The lesson is over. ఈ లెసన్ కానీ మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే డూ లైక్, షేర్, కమెంట్ అండ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టు అవర్ ఛానల్ జేకే స్టడీస్ అండ్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ద బెల్ ఐకాన్. అండ్ ఇప్పటి నుంచి వీడియోస్ డెఫినెట్లీగా వస్తూ ఉంటాయి అండ్ అసలు మిస్ అవ్వద్దు. మీరు చూడండి, సబ్స్క్రైబ్ కూడా చేయండి. సీ యూ, బాయ్.